How's it going, guys? You're watching Rowdy 404, and today we're doing an unboxing, overview and installation of the Aorus 5080 Xtreme Waterforce Water Block Edition. Okay, so getting straight into it, I will admit that I've already looked in the box just to make sure the contents were there, but I haven't actually removed the graphics card from the static packaging yet. So we'll be seeing that for the first time. So going straight in, as you can see, we've got a nice little package with an Aorus logo. In here, all this has is your warranty cards, some stickers, Waterforce block installation guide. So that might actually be on how the block's installed. No, that's just physically how to install it. And a graphics card quick guide. Don't know what, we're not going to be reading all that. We're not going to need these, hopefully. I've fitted enough of these that I should be able to work my way around that. So get all this to one side. As you can see, the goods are staring you right in the face. So let's just move through the boring stuff first. We've got a nice little foil Aorus badge. So if you like putting stickers all over your PC, might be a nice little touch for you, but I won't be using that. Comes with a little bit of thermal paste. So I assume that's if you need to repaste the block, you can use theirs, but I don't think I'll be using that either. And we've got your free PCIe to 12 volt connector. Now, this obviously on the 5080, I don't see too many of these or too many reports of these catching fire. This is one of the reasons why I didn't go for the 5090. Same as I didn't have a 40 series card either, so I'm upgrading from a 3090. Purely because the 4090s were scaring me with the amount they were catching fire. It's just too much money to watch go up in flames. And then with the 50 series, I really thought they were going to fix that with the 5090, but it seems they have the same load balancing problems. So I know there's tons of people out there that have not had issues, but I just don't want to be the one guy that does. So 5080 seems like it has very good performance, nice upgrade to the 3090, and it's not going to catch fire. But as far as it goes for like telling you about the quality of this, I really couldn't tell you. From the videos that I've watched, people are saying obviously it's better to use the Founders Edition one. I mean, this feels all right, but I suppose time will tell. And then also in here, what we got? This looks like a little cleaning cloth, similar to what you get with the monitors. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, so that's the bulk of what you get on the face of it. I don't think there's anything else underneath. Doesn't feel like it. We'll check just to make sure though. So the graphics card itself. It feels so weird to get a graphics card with the water block already installed, and in all honesty, a bit of a relief. And this thing is heavy. So what I'm going to do is whip this out of the packaging, get this box out of the way, and we'll get a better look at the graphics card itself. Okay, so first impressions, I'm not going to lie, low-key, I'm kind of in love with this block. It's a really good looking block. Quality seems really nice, and it's got a really nice sort of frosted effect that goes all the way around the block. So as you can see, it comes all the way up here. And I didn't actually see that in the pictures, so that's quite nice. Nice retro logo on the top, that looks pretty cool. And then the back plate is also pretty nice, following the Aorus theme. Now this is the first Gigabyte anything I've ever had, so I've always gone with EVGA cards and mainly ROG motherboards. So I was a little bit skeptical to buy this because I really wanted the ROG Astral. But the main thing that sort of steered me away from that is in the 5080, for some reason, no one seems to be making a water block at the moment. So, well, I say that. EK are making a water block, but it was for pre-order. And with the current state of EK, pre-ordering anything is super risky right now. As anyone that kind of is in the know with EK, they're clearly going through some problems. And it just seems like you'll either be waiting months and months and months for water block to be released, or you won't get it at all. So I wasn't going to run the risk of that. So when I saw this card, I know Gigabyte are very similar sort of quality to ROG, or at least so I've read. So it was really nice to be able to get one sort of with a water block already installed. It doesn't come without its price, but when you sort of compare that, I mean, at the moment in the UK, I think the Astral is retailing for about just between, I think it's about $13.50. So once you pay 200 odd quid for a water block, the price is about the same anyway. And like I said, this is pre-installed, so this is a nice, convenient purchase, really. You'll see this gold band that goes all the way around as well. This is pretty cool. So this is Aorus's sort of, it's a water detector. So if you was to unfortunately spring a leak, technically this should automatically pick up the fact that there's water or moisture on the band, and then immediately shut the power off. Now, this is a blessing and a curse from the sound of it. So a lot of people have reported that when they've sort of put their coolant fittings onto the block, it interferes with the band and then won't allow the PC to power cycle. So the workaround for that is people have been using insulation tape just around the base of the fittings, just to isolate the fittings so they don't interfere. I'm just going to do that anyway, just because I cannot be bothered to bleed all this up just to find it's not going to power cycle and then waste a load more time draining the system and doing it again. So just to even avoid that, I'm going to do it off the bat. I don't know if it's been fixed. I don't think it has. So yeah, if you do get one of these, might be a good idea to look into that and just do that off the cusp to save yourself a lot of time. But yeah, like I say, overall looks really, really nice. Let's pull off the packaging just so we can really get a feel for it. This is always a problem for me. There we go. Nice. Get nice and close to the mic. Douche. Oh, that's nice. That's matte as well. So yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I like that. Got another one on the top. And then the back plate. Yeah, that's satisfying. And that's a really nice sort of satin finish as well. Yeah, really cool. Really happy with this. I have no idea on the cooling performance in comparison to other blocks. Like I said, this is their own block. So I've not, it seems, getting information on this seems really difficult. No one seems to talk about the overall performance. So I'm not going to do a performance video with this one, but if you do want to see the performance factor of it, I can make another video. Just leave a comment down below if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is make preparations to get it installed. I'll probably just do a bit of a montagey video, as you don't need to hear me waffling on about that in the background. But yeah, any questions that you have on the block, just let me know. Just stop the video there real quick, just to make a quick point. Obviously, because this is a pre-installed water block, it's not going to hurt to just check all the fittings and make sure they're tight. If you've ever had EK blocks or anything like that, you'll know that they quite commonly come with loose fittings. So I have just checked all of these and mine are good, but obviously if you're doing this yourself, probably just good practice just to make sure they are all tight. And the other thing, I'm sure people are more than familiar with this by now, but the size comparison between the 3090 and the 50 series, I think the 40 series with the same sort of size cards, is crazy. So yeah, I just thought I'd point that out as well. And I'm really sad to see this go. Now I've got it off. I mean, it was time for an upgrade. The 3090 is an absolutely great card, and I'm very close to this card. EVGA, when they stopped making cards and announced they stopped making cards, that was really disappointing for me. And I'm a really big Kingpin fan. So the fact that this is one of the last EVGA Kingpin cards that you could buy. They did do the 3090 Ti, but they were like rocking horse shit. You'd be so lucky to get hold of one of them. You know, this was the last sort of mainstream card they brought out, it's actually quite sad to see it go. But onwards and upwards, I'm sure I'll find a nice use for this, or at least a nice place to display it. But yeah, sad to see it go. I will say though, on the Kingpin card, I don't know if you can pick this up on the camera, but the copper block has gone pretty rank, in all honesty. I'm going to attempt to clean that, just because I would like to keep it nice if I can. But it definitely seems like the copper oxidized quite a bit, and it is really tarnished the sort of perspex, and the block itself, the fins, they're looking rather black. So I'll see if I can bring that back up. I might even do a video on that, just restoring it back to its former glory. But yeah, bit of a homage to EVGA Kingpin. I'm gonna miss you, but let's crack on with the video. Now time to get this one installed. Well, get the fittings on there, do the insulation tape, get it installed, bleed it all up, and yeah, hopefully it goes as intended. So there we have it, guys. Card is installed and the system is bled. Installation went really well, no hiccups, power cycled first time, driver went in first time, and no leaks, which is an absolute bonus. I'd say the most finicky part was doing the installation around the fittings. I did say earlier that I don't know if this is absolutely necessary. However, I will retract that statement. If you are using the bigger fittings, this is a mod definitely worth doing, as the problem is pretty clear. As soon as you screw the fitting down into the card, the shoulder of the fitting makes clear contact with the anti-leak band, so I'd imagine that is picking up a small amount of resistance, sort of kicking in the failsafe, not allowing it to power cycle. So for the sake of 15 minutes versus half an hour to an hour to have to drain the system only to do the mod anyway, I would definitely say it's worth your time to do so. Off the bat, cooling performance of the card seems pretty good. Bear in mind I'm using two 360 rads on an independent loop, so if you're going to compare any of this to your own, just bear that in mind. But I did two quick benchmarks: Port Royale times by Xtreme. Idle temperatures around 25 degrees, and I think the peak was about 48 degrees, which is pretty impressive. I did have a game for around 20-30 minutes, and again, temperature stayed pretty consistent around 48 degrees. In comparison to my 3090, the old beast here now, that's a big improvement. So this thing would sit at sort of low 60s on most benchmarks, and after sort of 20-30 minutes of gaming, you could physically feel the heat coming off the card, especially obviously the back plate. It definitely seems to generate a lot more heat, the 3090. Now, I don't know if it's just a case that this needs more time to be tested. Like I said, we're talking 30 minutes max here that I played, but even in that amount of time, for me, there's a clear improvement. I did say earlier though that the water block on the Kingpin card was pretty rank, so I don't know if that's playing in a part of this, but I don't think that would affect the backplate. So I would assume that these cards off the bat do seem to run a hell of a lot cooler than the 3090. So if you're coming from one of those on a water cooled system, this might make your living conditions a bit more comfortable with longer gaming sessions, as this room becomes an absolute sauna after a little while. So yeah, pretty impressed with that. So one other thing I did want to mention that I forgot to mention earlier on, bit of a negative one, is I did read some reports with the 40 series cards, I think it was, that they did in the water block editions. A lot of people are having problems with the actual fins corroding in a really short amount of time. Now, I did do some reading, and it does look like Gigabyte has rectified this, but obviously I will be keeping a close eye on that, and if there is any problems, I'll upload a video straight away just announcing what's going on. If that happens to me, that's going to be something I'm not going to put up with, so this card will go back straight away, as that's an absolute deal breaker for me. But hopefully they've sort of learned from previous iterations, and this one should be okay. So if you do want to see any particular performance overview of the card, just leave your suggestions down in the comments, and I'll most likely accommodate most suggestions as long as they're not ridiculous. And if you have any questions, obviously do feel free to answer. I'll answer them the best I can. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe if you feel it deserves it. But yeah, apart from that, good card. I would definitely say it's one worth going for. Just as a quick sort of side bet, I did get this from Overclockers in the UK. Now, I know 50 series cards seem to be becoming sort of way more available, but this particular SKU, I mean, I did try to get it sort of about a month back, and it sold out within minutes. So I'd definitely say turn on the notifications for when it comes back in stock, because that's what I did for this one. And I think they only had 4 in stock, because by the time it sort of stopped, by the time it had gone to sell out, it just said 4 had been bought. So it's clearly a very small niche SKU, so if you do want it, just stick yourself down for a notification and yeah, get on it as soon as you can. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.